Good morning to everyone. Today I am going to present about total physical response. The origins of total physical response. The total physical response is a language teaching method developed by James Escher, a professor emeritus of psychology at St. Joe's State University. It is based on the coordination of language and physical movement. In TPR, instructor give commands to student in the target language with body movements and students respond with whole body actions. So let's see what is TPR. Total physical response is a method of teaching language or vocabulary concepts by using physical movement to react to verbal inputs. The process mimics the way that infants learn their first language and reduce students' inhibition and lower stress. Why consider TPR? The pairing of moment with language is innately associated with effective learning. Students actively use both the left and right side of their brains. It works with both small and large groups. It sharpens students' listening skill. As no one is called upon individually, TPR is great for introverted students. Limited material or planning means it's simple for teaching to prepare. Application of TPR. There is reading, writing, vocabulary, and structure are most important application for TPR. Reading, predicting and skill and reading the text. Writing, making dialogue and picturing. Vocabulary, reality, demonstration, and conversation. Structure, reality, demonstrations. Feature of total physical responses. Uh, the coordination of speech and action facilitates language learning. Grammar is taught inductively. Meaning is more important than form. Speaking is the delay until comprehension skills are established. Effective language learning takes place in a low stress environment. So there is some advantages and disadvantages of TPR. Let's see first advantages. It is a fun and easy tool to teach. It is a good tool for learning vocabulary. Class size doesn't need to be a problem. There is no age barrier. Uh, there is some disadvantages also. It is not a very creative method. It is easy to overuse TPR. It is limited since everything cannot be explained with this method. It must be combined with the other approaches also. Conclusion. Thus, we can say that total physical response is a very important in education system because the total physical response seems to be work effect for the children and the adult, and there is no age barrier. Total physical response is one of the teaching method that emphasize active learning through action. It means that learners speaking skill through listening to teacher and before requiring them to speak. There are some references. Thank you.
Yes, okay. A good one. Yes, next presenter is Asha.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone. And today I am here with fourth presentation. This is our last presentation, which is on ELT, English Language Teaching. So as we know that every community have a different language, and within that particular culture, the language have its own meaning and its own essence. So my topic for today's presentation is how socio-cultural dimensions of English is influenced when we are learning English as a second language, and how English is used in advertisement in India within the cultural dimensions of India. So first, see some of the objectives of my presentation is to analyze how English language used within social and cultural dimensions of India. And this presentation also tried to highlight how advertisement using the hybridized language, hybridized form of English within India to attract audience. So before we go into deep, let's see some of the difference between, let's see meaning of language and culture. So language and culture both are interconnected. So language, as Douglas Brown pointed out, that language is a part of culture and culture is a part of language. So these two are intricately interwoven, so that one cannot separate the two without losing the significance of either of a language or either of a culture. So language is not an isolated entity which exists individually, but language exists within culture, or culture exists within language. So language is deeply rooted in social cultural dimensions of society, and it also affects the native speaker's life. So what is interconnection between English language and culture? So as you know, there is a close association between the form of language, the structure of language, and the cultural activity which is done in society. So if we are speaking a particular language, then we are also speaking that particular language within that particular society or culture. As Frantz Fanon says in his work, Black Skin and White Mask. So a man who has a language consequently possesses the world expressed and implied by that language. So if we are speaking a language or learning any language of any nation or anything, then along with that, we are also possessing the culture of that particular nation or society or area. So what is the difference between foreign language and second language? In India, we are learning English as a second language. So first we have to differentiate what is difference between foreign language and second language. So foreign language is not one's own language, and the purpose of absorbing the foreign language is the culture of also absorbing the culture of that particular nation. While the second language is a reformed form of one's own language. If we own a second language, that particular language we own within our native language. And second language also an alternative way of expressing a culture of one's own. So foreign language is produced bilingual with a passive and receptive attitude, while the second language produces bilingual with active and creative interest. So let's see how English is learned by Indian people as a second language. So we English in India it can be seen as an Indianized form of English in India. Then English is a kind of a manipulation of language which we used in India, which is Indianized form. We try to convert English language within our culture and within our society. So socio-cultural codes of Indian culture are deeply infused in Indianized form of English. And the creative writers have, whenever a creative writer is writing any kind of work of art, then they are composing two languages, which is of a native language as well as English as a second language. So we can see the effect of native language within that second language in which they are writing. And the words from native language are, some of the words from native language are directly absorbed into English, and then they are used as a day-to-day language. So when we use English in India as a second language, then we see the hybrid form of English. So, and we also see the hybrid form of English in Indian media. So linguistically, what is first see what is the meaning of hybridization? So if we see hybridization in language, then hybridization is the merging of a two language to form a new one, and fusion of English and Indian languages in India. We can see the hybrid form of English in India. In media, we can see the creative mixing of language to produce a deeper impact on the audience mind. So let's see some examples of advertisement. That Ching's Secret is a brand which is became famous in India as a desi Chinese food. So let's see advertising journey of this particular brand. So this particular brand first introduced in India during 1980s. And during 1987, there are only 5 to 4 restaurants in India. But after a couple of years, there is an instant rise in the interest of people in this Chinese food, and we see the Chinese food stall in 1990.